What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Manchester Derby is done. Manchester City 2, Manchester United 1. And I think the City didn't even have to try in that game. They just didn't. If Solskjaer stays in his job after this, then something... Listen, I was going to say something's wrong at the club. That's obvious. There's something massively wrong at Manchester United. Listen, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm gutted to see United lose. We want OLE there. But at the same time, United have lost and he'll probably still be there. And I think that's what's worrying. If I was a Manchester United fan, the fact that any other manager is probably gone. But with the Glazers in charge, he probably isn't. And United started off with the deepest back five I think has ever been played in football history. The straightest back five that has ever been played in football history. And then McFred in the midfield. So you're basically playing, if you include De Gea, you're playing a back eight. And it did not work at all. And it's one of them things that United didn't get out of their half until the 25th, between 25th and 30 minutes. They didn't get out of the half. City just kept it in their half. They kept the ball. That's embarrassing. Listen, Solskjaer changed it at half time. He needed to change it. Fair play. Listen, it didn't work, but he needed to change it. At least he tried. The problem is, don't change it at half time. You needed to change it in the game. And Solskjaer never ever seems to do that, in my opinion. The personnel can change, but the tactics never do. The system never changes. And that would do my head in as a United fan. And there's no outball with United, and especially in that first half, when you've got your so-called wing-backs. They weren't wing-backs. They're playing in a back five as full-backs. That doesn't work, because then you've got McFred in the midfield who don't pass forward. They never do. I don't think they ever have. I don't think they've ever played a forward pass. That's a joke. Obviously they have. There's no outball. Your full-backs aren't getting forward. McFred and I can't speak. McTominay and Fred aren't attacking players. So you've only got Bruno who's creating stuff. Greenwood and Ronaldo are up there for things to be created for them. There's no one to create anything other than Bruno, and they couldn't get the ball to Bruno. Bruno was having to come deep and collect the ball, and then was just losing it. And that's the main reason they lost this game. People saying derbies, and it's a fair point, and we say it every single time. Oh, there's 75,000 fans, form goes out the window, and most of the time in derbies, it's true, form is irrelevant because of the fans, because of the atmosphere, because of the history of them type of games. Form in that game showed. Because let's not forget City aren't in a great run of form. City lost last week to Palace. There was just the biggest golfing class we could see. That was a training exercise for City, and United would go a goal down, and Solskjaer would be there going, "It's all right, come on." Phil Foden gives a pass away, and Pep's screaming at him, and it is just the difference between managers is unbelievable. And I don't know how Manchester United fans actually... I mean, they're not putting up with it. To be fair, there's outcry from them, and I don't blame them in the slightest. He isn't good enough. I've just seen on Twitter a stat that... It's true, but it's a real stat, but I'm still just like, I don't know how that is possible. I don't necessarily believe it, but I can't not believe it because it is true. Manchester United have conceded more goals at Old Trafford this season than Norwich have conceded at Carrow Road. That's bad. That's really, really bad, and that's worrying. Harry Maguire needs dropping. Luke Shaw needs dropping. Why Eric Bailly came off? Listen, I know he got the own goal. You can say it's fault, but either way, he can't win there. Listen, he's tried getting rid of it, and he's just sliced it. He either tries to get rid of it and does his job as a defender, or he lets it go across him and maybe someone taps it in. He can't see what's behind him. He just tries getting rid of it, and it's unfortunate. There's a huge, in my opinion, and especially with, listen, I like Gary Neville, but there is just an English bias in Manchester United that I find I've struggled to get my head around it. How you can blame David De Gea for that second goal going in is beyond me. Now listen, we can sit here and argue and go, oh, maybe he could have done a little bit better. Maybe he could have. Maybe he could have. But to blame him after what he did in that first half is just, it blows my mind. Harry Maguire could have got rid of it. Luke Shaw got rid of it. But what did they do? They just watched it. They just watched it go by them. But because they're English, they're not going to get the stick. If that was Lindelof who let it go past him, he'd get the stick. If it was Bailly who let it go past him, he would get the stick. There's an English bias, and it does annoy me. Even because obviously I'm an England fan as well. And you want to, I like Harry Maguire, I like Luke Shaw. But there's an English bias in that club, and it really, really confuses me. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is so close, if not already, ruining what he did at the beginning for Manchester United. There's a reason people were singing Ollie's at the wheel at the beginning. There's a reason Ferdinand was slamming paper down saying, give him whatever he wants. There's a reason, because it was going well. He was doing well. And he is, in fact, I think he already has. He's thrown that down the drain. Because he must know in his heart of hearts he can't do this. Now, I'm not saying he should walk away from the job. Listen, what's he going to get? 8 million payout if he gets sacked? No, none of us would walk away from that job. You're managing a club you love, you're trying your best, and you get 8 million quid if you get sacked. He isn't going to walk away. And I don't blame him for not walking away. But the Glazers have to get rid of him, and I don't think they will. I honestly don't think they will. Because, and I've said it so many times, the incompetence in that club is mesmerising. It is just, there's no words for it. How incompetent they are. He should have been gone after the Liverpool game. The Tottenham game, I mean, Tottenham were, listen, you can only beat what's in front of you, I get that, but Tottenham were awful. Atalanta, United didn't play well again. And what have I said? I don't know, obviously I might have some new viewers, but if you've seen my old videos talking about United, I constantly said they are comeback FC. They always have to go 1 down, 2 down to get a reaction. And I've said all along, you can do that against Atalanta, you can do that against Villarreal, against Newcastle, against Watford, against Norwich. The moment you come up against City, Liverpool, Chelsea, PSG in the Champions League, Bayern Munich, whenever you come against these big teams, you cannot go 2 behind and then just expect from desire and passion to come back into it, because football doesn't work like that. Football doesn't work like that, because them bigger teams who know how to control a game, they're not going to let you back into it. And that's what United struggled with today. They couldn't, I don't think, did they have a shot in that second half? Maybe was it Maguire at the end? Or was it Lindelof who hit it over the bar? Was that the only shot they had? That's the only one I can remember. Which is just so damning. The fact that I can only remember one shot. I thought Wan-Bissaka had a bad game. I thought McTominay and Fred, I didn't really notice them, to be honest, which is quite worrying because they've got quite an important job. So when you don't really know they're there, there's a bit of a problem. I don't remember Greenwood doing anything. I don't really remember Ronaldo doing anything. Ronaldo had the shot that obviously he was about 10 miles offside in the first half. But there we go again. I've just said I don't remember Greenwood and Ronaldo doing anything. The reason I don't remember them doing anything is because there was nothing created for them. They are players who need chances. They're not gonna come and get the ball. That's not their job. Their job isn't to create. Their job is to put the ball in the back of the net for the chances that are being created, but they can't do that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got a problem where he's gone from playing too many attacking players to now playing nowhere near enough. Or not in the right way, at least. For me, he has got to go. Listen, I want him to stay. I love it. I absolutely, United fans, I'm sorry, but I'm sure you'd feel the same way if it was Liverpool. I absolutely love it. He just isn't good enough. We can talk about tactics, we can talk about systems, we can talk about the squad. It's all irrelevant because at the end of the day, we have seen it black and white. He is not good enough, and it isn't just Ollie. It's Mike Phelan, it's McKenna, it's Carrick. They've all got to go because they're not good enough to coach. I don't think there's any coach. I don't know what they do in training because I don't think there's any coaching. I don't see any players who have got any better. I think Greenwood's a brilliant young talent. I think he's exactly where he was last year. Rashford, exactly the same where he was. Maguire's got worse. The only player in that team, the only two players in that team who are doing well are Ronaldo and De Gea. And let's not forget that game there. That first half they'd have gone into half time 5-0 if it wasn't for De Gea. They'd be in a bloody relegation battle if it weren't for De Gea and Ronaldo this season. Solskjaer is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. And if he keeps his job, Manchester United fans, we saw it with the Super League. There's got to be something done. If I was a United fan, I'd want something done. But the issue is with the Super League, everyone agreed that it wasn't bad. There was no split between the fan base. Now there is a little bit of one because there are some people, I don't get it, I don't think I'll ever get it, who still want Ollie in. There's still fans at the ground singing Ollie's at the wheel. I will never understand it. They're becoming Friends FC. They may as well have Davy Schwimmer in charge. They may as well have Ross, Monica, Joey. And we'll chuck Chandler in there as well. They may as well have them four. Ross, Monica, Joey, Chandler. Let them run your club. Because it is just Friends FC. The reason Gary Neville doesn't put any pressure on is because they're friends. The reason Rio Ferdinand doesn't is because they're friends. They're all friends. And none of the people at the top of that club are football men. They'll see that result today and go, oh, it wasn't as bad as Liverpool. It was only 2-0. You could argue, listen, I know the scoreline, there's 3 goals difference in the scoreline. You could argue that performance was worse than Liverpool. Way worse. And in my opinion, it was. United fans, let me know in the comments because I'm struggling to get my head around it all, to be honest. The fact that he could not lose his job. You'd think I'd be able to come onto this video and just be like, yep, that's it, oh, he's gone. Because he should be. It's as simple as that. But I don't think he will. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. Oh, it doesn't seem that bad. It's mental. And they're going, do you know what it is now as well? We're into an international break now. There's no like, oh, we didn't have enough time to find a manager before the next game, so we give him one more chance. You've got 2 weeks. You can't use that excuse forever. You've now got 2 weeks. And what is also interesting, if they keep Ollie in charge until the next Premier League game, he's got 2 weeks. He's got 2 weeks to study that team, sort out the coaching. But if then they come back and it's exactly the same, United are just going round in a vicious circle. And until Ollie goes, I don't think they'll get out of it. And for me, if I was a United fan, I don't even think I'd care what manager we got. I don't think I'd care if it was Zidane or Ten Hag or Graham Potter or Brendan Rodgers or, I was going to say Gareth Southgate, but fuck me, I'd care if it was them. You need anyone but him. And like I said, it isn't just getting rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think it's about getting rid of the Glazers. It's about getting rid of Ollie. and all the coaching staff, because it's just not good enough. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think down in the comments. Press that subscribe button, and I will see you later. Actually, just a quick one. Tonight is Canelo versus Caleb Plant and Usman versus Covington. So expect, I don't know when it'll be, but definitely expect some reaction videos to them fights tomorrow at some time. Let me know in the comments what you think about that game, whether you think OLE will get the sack, and I will see you later.